A day in the life of a Hopi child. Mist in the morning awoke to a bright, hot, dry desert day. She lived in a Hopi village built high above the desert on a flat-topped steep hill called a mesa. She folded her soft rabbit-skin blanket and hung it neatly on a pine pole. After a quick breakfast of cooked cornmeal, she was ready to start her day. It was going to be a hot day, but Mist in the morning felt cool and comfortable in her family's pueblo. Her father had built the foundation for the house, but she, her mother, and her grandmother had built the rest of the house. They used stones covered with mud to make the walls that dried smooth and strong in the sun. Because Hopi homes were built with no windows or doors on the ground floor, everyone had to climb in and out of the house on a ladder. All the homes were built around an open plaza where everyone in the village met for religious ceremonies and dances. Like all young, unmarried Hopi girls, Mist in the morning wore her hair in buns on either side of her head. They were meant to look like the blossoms of a squash plant. Once married, the women wore their hair in 2 long braids. Most girls wore a simple cotton dress colored blue with dye from sunflower seeds, and on their feet they wore moccasins made of animal skins. Mist in the morning's first chore of the day was to go with her mother to the river below for water. As she came out of the doorway, Mist in the morning tried placing a large water pot on top of her head. It was quite wobbly at first, but she was getting better at it every day. Walking very straight, she climbed down the mesas towards the river. Today, she was going to try not to spill even 1 drop upon her return trip. Yesterday, Mist in the morning had begun weaving a basket all by herself. She was making it out of dried, twisted plant leaves. The desert provided many plants for the Hopi to use. Some were cooked and eaten, and some were used for fuel. Other plants were picked up to make brushes and paints for dyes for the coloring of their pots, basket, and clothes. All Hopi girls learned about plants and their many uses at an early age. Today, Mist in the morning will help her mother and grandmother make pottery. It is one of her favorite chores. They will make cooking pots, bowls, and jars for water. The part she likes best is decorating the finished pieces. Using a brush made from yucca leaves, she will carefully paint her work with earth colors such as brown, red, orange, yellow, and black. In the early evening, before the men return from working in the fields, Mist in the morning will help her mother cook. Once in a while, her family eats meat, but not too often because there are not many animals in the desert for the men to kill. So, most of the time, a Hopi family eats something made with corn. Tonight, they will make a thin cornbread called piki. Piki bread can be red, yellow, blue, or white depending on the color of corn used to make it. Tonight they will grind blue corn flour. When it's ready, the wafer-thin bread will be crisp, crunchy, and sweet. As they work, she and her mother will sing a corn grinding song that will make their job more fun. Like all Hopi children, Mist in the morning looks forward to the special ceremony to remind the spirits that rain is needed. Her people believe that it is the kachinas, or great spirits, who send rain. Since most of their food comes from the land, rain is very important. Soon the whole village will watch as the Hopi men, dressed up as kachinas, lead the prayers. After the ceremony, Mist in the morning and her friends will be given tiny kachina dolls, not to play with, but to study.